video games, video games, video games, games, video games, video games, video games, games, computer-based game, internet-based game with all sorts of weapons. Computer-based game with all sorts of weapons. Computer-based game with all sorts of weapons.
The video game controversy questions whether video games affect us and cause us to be more violent, and question whether or not women are being sexualized inside games or set up as objects. There are many men who say video games are pure fantasy and have almost no effect on reality. This cannot be true. As kids who watch The Simpsons, a pure fiction cartoon, do end up bringing in Simpsons-related lines and sayings into their schools. For example, "I caramba" is a word Bart uses in the fiction story. This affects children, even though it was pure fiction. You hear kids saying "I caramba" or quoting stuff from South Park in real life, reacting the scenes. You also see kids buying skateboards because Bart had one. Don't tell me it has no effect. It doesn't cause everyone to become a skater, but it influences some people, and it affects kids. The next thing you will hear is that music has no effect on anybody because it is fantasy. For fuck's sakes. All media affects us in many ways. Video games, music, fiction shows. Even this video you are watching now will have no effect at all. The question is, how much does fantasy affect reality? Will showing sexualized women in video games affect reality? Very much. The joke here is that slut walks, organized by feminists, sexualize women. The feminists claim to have no problem with women being sexual. That's what slut walks are for. Feminists are pointing out how video games sexualize women. But this should not be a problem. At the slut walks, the whole point is women should be able to wear revealing clothing. So then there is no problem with revealing clothing on women in video games. So why are the feminists okay with revealing clothing at slut walks, but they shame video games? This is simply hypocrisy. They also shame men for having t-shirts that sexualize women. Yet the slut walks do exactly that. Having your cake and eating it too. You've heard that expression. The feminists want to control men so that they cannot display sexualized women in any way anywhere. Yet the women can display sexualized women at slut walks anytime they want. Guys who wear shirts with revealing women on them are forced to apologize because they offended feminists who don't like sexual women being displayed. Yet that's exactly what the feminists are doing at slut walks, displaying sexual women. Fucking hypocrites. Feminists. So there must be no problem with displaying women in video games with revealing clothing. So as long as a woman created the video game. If a man creates a video game with women in it who have revealing clothing, this is considered evil. If a woman goes to a slut walk and wears revealing clothing, this is considered saving the day. What if there was a game that really sexualized women and men, and you could have sex on screen? Wouldn't this have an effect on our reality? You would learn different moves. Some of it would be pure fantasy, but some of it would collide with reality. Don't tell me a car racing game or flying game never has any effect on a pilot's real-life flight. Fantasy airplanes that don't even fly like real planes will obviously have less of an effect, though. So we do know that fantasy does affect reality. That doesn't mean that when someone plays a first-person shooter they will become one in real life. But if they already have an interest in guns in real life as it is, and have access to guns, the game may have some effect on them. Just like someone interested in cars may own car games, it feeds back both ways. That's what simulations are for. To train pilots and car drivers. The games that are more fantasy-oriented have less of an effect on reality, though.
Let's do it! I'm playing some CS Source right now. We can get some footage of that. Go back! Yeah! Boom! Headshot! Boom! Headshot! I can dance all day! I can dance all day! Try to hit me! Try to hit me! Come on! Boom! Headshot! Yeah! Yeah! Dude! Take that, bitch! So, like, this is my PC here. It owns. It owns! So yeah, I like FPSs. What can I say? There's nothing like the rush of hunting people down and killing them. I mean, my heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. You wanna go for a jog, man? We can go for a jog.
Okay, but what are you doing with a knife?
What do you mean? I run faster with a knife. Everyone runs faster with a knife.
But what about the Simpsons TV show? It is not to train anyone. It's pure fiction comedy. And yet it still affects kids, even though it is fantasy fiction. Kids go to school quoting Simpsons. Then kids do tell Simpsons jokes and say lines from episodes. But often the game has a good effect, such as teaching you not to mess with too many people in GTA. For you fuckers who don't know what GTA is, it's Grand Theft Auto, a violent video game. And likewise, a car game could teach a person unique techniques that they would never have tried in real life, because it was too dangerous. They may even become a better driver after learning tricks in the game and then applying it to real life. It is not a simple case of video games being destructive and should be banned. Nor is it a simple case of them having almost no effect on reality, which some men sadly say. If they didn't have any effect on reality, then why do fictional shows like Simpsons affect humans? Bullies in The Simpsons are often mimicked by real people in real life. Ha ha. Ha ha. But this could be used for good or for bad. For example, making fun of fucking retarded feminists or retarded Islamists is a good thing. Ha ha. You fucking idiots. Never before has someone had a non-one-sided video on this subject. Most of the fuckers say fantasy video games don't affect us at all or not very much, because they are pure fantasy. Or from the other retarded side of the argument, video games are killing simulators and cause all our school shootings. Can't you fuckers see that these are two extreme views, and that neither is true 100%? Are you telling me that no one has ever learned anything from a video game and applied it in real life? Most people play video games as mind puzzles and improve their brain. Some use games for bad shit, like simulating a shooting. Thanks, fuckers. Now don't go around in real life using the word fucker, because this video influenced you.
Games, computer-based game, internet-based game with all sorts of weapons. Basically, I have no doubt. Video games are absolute fantasy. No. Video games are absolute reality. Fantasy. Reality. Fantasy.com. Reality. Fantasy. Reality. Fantasy.com. Video games, video games, video games, games, video games, video games, video games, games, computer-based game with all sorts of weapons.
Doug? Doug, what's going on? Are you okay?
What are you doing?
Doug, what's going on?
You know what, Top? I think you just better go, dude. I think you just better go, dude.
Are you okay?
Just go, man. Seriously, just go. Oh, man! God, you Jesus! Ah! Fucking lag, you piece of shit! Oh, yeah, I can saw it back your ass for 5 goddamn days, you old cock, man! You like that? What fucking job now? Motherfucker! Goddamn lag! Oh, yeah, you fucking like that! You motherfucker! Fucking goddamn lag! Oh, fuck!
Video games, video games, video games, games.
You.
Boom, headshot! I can dance all day! I can dance all day! Try to hit me! Try to hit me! Come on!